Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Marty. What's up, Marty?
Hello, Joe.
So what's going on today? How are you, sir?
I am all good. I'm all good. I've just been past few weeks have been crazy. Just with stuff, just work. I'm doing a lot
I
of
know
late
things
late
been
night.
nuts, huh?
Yeah, late nights with work and going on set and doing stuff. So that's the life of TV.
Yep, yep. You know it because you're in the industry. So
Yeah.
what?
So
What? Have you seen all the drama lately with the
uh,
so, some Whovians wanting it canceled, some Whovians promoting it canceled?
It's
I mean,
do you know what?
y-
It reminds me of the whole it just it brings me back to we were people were having the same discussions during Jodie's era.
right.
It
Well,
just
I'm not going to mention podcast names, but I am going to
no,
mention.
no. I haven't been completely in the loop. I've as I say, before I don't get involved, but I dip in from time to time and I hear what's
Right.
going on and stuff. Yeah.
So I'm going to say one statement that was made on a particular podcast to which I was in the chat communicating back and forth while they were live. And one podcast in particular basically started this whole thing where they said that they have a source that's 100% certainty, that they've never been wrong, and they are going to confirm on their anniversary episode that Disney is done with Doctor Who. That was the first statement. So we'll go part by part. So they
Yeah.
said that Disney is done with Doctor Who. They said that the Christmas special was canceled. And then they went on and on and on about how they were questioning Shudy's career, saying he doesn't have anything, he hasn't done anything in 3 years, he doesn't. So, what do you have to say about that particular piece?
Um. Oh, well, I know the person you're referring to. But look, eh, all I can say really is,
I mean,
again,
100% certainty is 100% certainty.
I
That
mean, I
you,
mean,
I
if
know
he,
it's an anniversary for him. I'm thinking that he wanted to make a big announcement when there wasn't anything, and just
I,
created that. But again,
I, you know what, if he's got 100% certainty, all I will say to him is fair play because I work in the industry, and even I can't say that. I don't know. I
right,
even I can't say that. As I've
right,
said several times on here before. I take a balanced view, but
right,
I have from people that I've reached out to and people I've spoken to, nobody is telling me. I've got people telling me, yes, it's going ahead, 100%. Yes, it's happening. Filming happening. I've got other people who are saying there's been no decision made, nothing's been said, but there is nobody out there telling me it's cancelled. You
right.
know, season
Well,
three.
when they say that Disney is done with Doctor Who, that's in essence that it's canceled. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no way around it. People that were followers of that channel attacked me on my channel
yeah,
because they're like, "You never said it was canceled." Well, what does that mean? Disney being done with Doctor Who means that Disney is done and they're canceling their relationship with
yeah.
Doctor Who.
I,
Um,
as I say, I don't know. I don't think that's correct, but I'll hold
I
my.
know you're worried. Here's the thing. I
Uh-huh.
I know you're petrified and worried because you don't want to come off that you're battling the podcast. And
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
having you on here to battle the podcast.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm just saying you have to understand you're in the industry,
yeah,
right? These people are not in the industry,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
And I need a professional take on it. You're not battling these people. I'm
yeah,
battling
yeah,
Noel, and flat out everybody knows that
yeah,
because he
yeah,
went after me.
yeah,
But I'm going to try not to mention names on here. But I'm not battling the other. Here's the thing. I like the other guy's podcast. I
Yeah.
think it's professional. I think it's well done, and I can say that a million times.
Yeah.
But I feel as a podcaster myself that he wanted, in my opinion, he didn't need to say that 100% certainty because it wasn't. And I was worried because when he made that statement, you're taking everything you have. Hey, what's up, Matthew? You're taking all your chips at the gambling table
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
putting it on red,
Well,
right?
what I would say to that is, if you're taking your gambling chips, to use that analogy, if you're taking your gambling chips and putting it all in red, you're a fool.
Right, right.
Because
And again, nothing against him,
yeah,
but
nothing against him. Nothing against
I'm trying to say that
yeah.
I don't see. This is the thing. The one thing that I felt once I knew the conversation was complete bullshit was the fact that there's never been anybody that has said that Disney Plus has canceled Christmas for
Yeah.
Doctor Who. They
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong in this analogy, right? But when
Yeah.
Russell came back, right? Didn't Russell say in many different interviews that he was very upset that they lost the time-honored tradition, Christmas time, of getting all the family together to watch a Doctor Who Christmas special?
He did say that. He said that he had said in several interviews that he felt that the show always belonged in Christmas and had that spot.
Right. And
Um,
didn't he also add that if Doctor Who was in jeopardy, or Doctor Who was canceled, or if Doctor Who was going to shrink,
mhm.
the one constant that there would be, if there's no season at all, was that there will always be a Christmas special. Under his name, he will always find a way to have a Christmas special at the very least for Doctor Who.
I think he did say something to that effect. He did say something along the lines of, I can't imagine Christmas without Doctor Who. Something
And he
along
said
those
he
lines.
would use all his power to make sure, let's say there's not a season, that there will always be a Christmas special while he's in charge.
Yeah, I think he did say something to that
He did
effect. Yeah,
say that. I
yeah,
know it for a fact he said that. So
yeah.
if you go by his word as gospel, that means that the special, the Christmas special, is treated more important than the entire season. And that the one thing that would continue on with Doctor Who, if it was in jeopardy, would be you will definitely have a Christmas special.
I think that's what he was trying to get across. Yeah, I think from what I've seen before. Yeah, um, but as I
But it
say,
did well on Disney Plus. So if Disney Plus was going to do anything, they would do a Christmas special.
yeah, yeah,
It did well. I on my app when I watch Disney Plus, it tells you what their best shows are, rating wise. And Doctor Who, when it was Christmas time, always came out in the top 10. You and I talked about it.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't know I knew it was number 5. I
yeah,
didn't know it was number 3. I wasn't paying attention.
yeah. I seen it at number 3. Yeah,
I saw it number 5, I saw it at number 7, I saw it at number 10, and this was as the days and the week was going on past
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah,
So that was a hit.
yeah.
Why would you cancel that? You wouldn't, and they wouldn't have the right to do that anyway.
It's yeah. It's that real. It's as I say. I sort of we've sort of as I say we've been in this situation before where people are talking about the show being cancelled and this, that, and the other, but you don't people will talk. People will talk because
I
they're
know they're making up their own fucking opinion, but they're making it as reality.
yeah.
And to
So,
say that the Christmas special is dismissed
uh-huh.
is a thing that they're concerned with, not that they don't want.
Yeah, it's even like too the other thing that was mentioned recently was the fact about how Bad Wolf are leasing out their studios and how they're inviting productions to come and use their studios. And there was one
Yeah.
person.
What's with that?
There's one person saying that the TARDIS set has been packed up. You know,
Well,
um,
yes, that I claim heavy against him too. Yeah.
yeah. That's just not no. That's one thing I
Well,
can tell you.
I gotta tell you, I did some undercover work with that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know it's not from the guy that mentioned it himself, the podcaster. It's his panel or his one of his sources that he has in a high regard. And I found that that person that is his source that appears on his live stream is connected with someone we are very familiar with, connected to my enemy's brand or umbrella of the religious nature, so to speak.
Oh, I
If you
didn't
know
know.
who I'm if you know who I'm talking about.
I think I have an idea. Yeah, of who you're
Yeah.
talking about.
So that could mean that that person's influence with his many thumbnails
Yeah.
and
I
many
mean, I mean,
women with boobs on the thumbnails is
I,
influencing that person that's a source for that other review podcast.
I mean, all you need to do is read. I've got it right in front of me here. Doctor Who magazine to prove that specifically that part about the TARDIS being dismantled is rubbish.
Yeah,
Because
I knew that was the moment he said it. I knew that was bullshit
yeah,
completely.
I mean, Russell even says, I know you had the cult box article, but there's something in here that isn't in the cult box article. I thought about
Okay,
reading. And Russell talks about at the very start. He says, so I'll read it out. I'll read it out what he says. He says the studios of Bad Wolf and Old Cardiff Town sit and wait. They are calm. They are patient. They were once a factory that made TVs. So it's always felt like the right home for this show, and they occupy a massive footprint. You might have seen on behind the scenes footage, though perhaps even the widest of wide shots doesn't make it clear. The studios are so large that they have a road running between them, indoors, an actual indoor road, two lanes, lorries trundling to and fro under a metal roof. True fact, the magnificent BBC HBO show Industry is made in here, and yet I've never ever seen their studio. I've got mates in the cast, and never bumped into them. I don't know where they are. The show is just vaguely over there. That's how big these studios are. So, you know, from what I know, Doctor Who takes up maybe 2, 3 studios. They've got 7 stages there. They've got seven
right.
studios within Batwolf. So that whole post of them like saying we've loved having Doctor Who here, they weren't talking about the show. They were talking about during 2024. They weren't talking about the show saying it's gone.
Right.
They used 3 of those studios. They've got another 4 that clearly that haven't been booked, that are open that are available. So
Right.
that's what they're being advertised for. It's maybe that Instagram post was poorly worded by Bad Wolf and got people thinking, but
Well,
you
I
know,
don't see. No, I don't think it was bad worded. I think that people are just idiots. I
yeah,
have to say, that flat out. That, and again, I know I get heat from this, but I'm sorry to say that there are Whovians out there that are trying to be broadcast journalists that are dumber than a brick, and just they don't get how big and massive the facility is. They don't get that they're a company that's still trying to do business
yeah,
outside of Doctor Who, and they want. This is the thing where the biasness gets them into trouble and gets their podcast into trouble. They go on for hours doing a stream. They bash Shooty Gatwa. They bash Russell T Davis. They bash the writing. So right off the bat, they are looking for something negative to put in their podcast to show the narrative that they are correct in their opinions and that the show is going to be canceled on an anniversary episode of theirs.
yeah,
And they just take the risk of throwing out, throwing stuff out to see what catches, and that caught everyone's attention. The views went through the roof once that announcement was made, and once I was back and forth, it seemed like combative between me and the host. And then I stopped because I felt, you know what, I didn't want this to turn into a battle because I knew
Yeah,
it was complete bullshit. But again, I'm in someone's home, in their podcast home, and I don't want to be I don't want to be that person that's
yeah,
disrespectful
yeah,
and outlive my welcome.
yeah,
So immediately, because I talked about it, people went after me, and then of course the enemy went after me with diss tracks and everything else, and it's baby infantile nonsense. Okay, but then everybody, so the enemy started his own take on it, and the person that my enemy that claims he's fair and balanced and will show both sides, whatever the news is not, because he immediately went with what that guy said as gospel and just went on a tangent that Doctor Who is canceled because this was said on this podcast and this was said on this, and there is no Christmas special. There is no Christmas. First of all, again, there is nobody that has one article out there that says that the Christmas special is canceled. That's one. Two, no one is waiting for a Christmas special announcement because Russell said there's always going to be a Christmas special and there doesn't need to be an announcement.
mm,
And again, they filmed 9 episodes. They filmed 8 episodes plus a Christmas special. The Christmas special, when they had the anniversary specials, it was your Church on Ruby Road. It was a block of 4 effing specials. And yes, Disney labeled it as the first episode of series 1, but it was really by itself. And Joy to the World was connected to season 1 as the ender. It was the ender. So we have the 2025 Christmas special already filmed that people are getting confused because when they do go to film season 3, they're not filming the 2025 Christmas special. They're filming the 2026 Christmas special. And I think that's where the confusion lies, is with the anniversary episodes mixed with the Christmas special. People got confused thinking they know how it works. No, the 2025, and again, they never announce what the Christmas special is about until after the season is aired. You'll get a teaser, right? Or trailer, and then they'll tell you who wrote it. Same thing like Joy to the World. They After the season was out, I think we found out what in November
yeah. Well,
about Joy to the World.
we knew the title when Boom came out, but we didn't know anything about it.
Right, but what I'm saying is they didn't say anything about it until November for the Christmas special. So
Yeah,
don't expect us to hear anything about the Christmas special till November.
yeah, yeah. So it's just, and like the thing about season 3, right? It goes back to something we talked about. And I'll give you 2 words. It goes back to none other than a certain Mr. Graham Norton. So, should he said season 3 on the sofa for Graham Norton, it wasn't in the episode.
Yeah,
He's not saying season 3 without knowing, because actors at the
he's
end of
an
the day,
actor. He's the main. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Despite people not liking this, Ncuti Gatwa, in case you didn't know, is the Doctor,
yeah,
the lead actor in Doctor Who. Ncuti Gatwa. Just you have to recognize he's the Doctor. He knows when he's got to film. But go ahead.
yeah. It's
He knows.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How stupid could you be? Of all these podcasts, how stupid could you be? They were playing off like he's a rookie, like he's a young actor. He jumped the gun. He didn't know. He's a baby. He doesn't know. He's just hopeful the Doctor is going to be made. When does this ever take place?
Yeah.
That an actor doesn't know when they got to film. They
Yeah,
all know. He's under contract, a
yeah,
written contract for season 3, written in stone.
yeah. Because as far as I know, it's that will be his last. At that
Yeah,
stage.
we've
And
talked, and again, if you go according to the Whovians cast about everything we say, and you timestamp it, we basically been saying for a long time, you and I, that Ncuti Gatwa's last episode as the Doctor is the 2026 Christmas special that follows season 3.
Yeah.
We said this. There's no room for error, right? We said that we heard that this is heavily what it is. Not that it's definite, but because we did hear also that they wanted to extend his contract, if you remember. But
Yeah.
we said that more than likely, and again, not definite, but leaning towards more than likely speculation, rumor, that the Christmas special of 2026, not this year's, the one following season 3 of Doctor Who, will be Shooty Gatwa's last because it goes by the textbook of 3 and out, right?
Yeah. Because I had said before, as I say, because I know several people, I had said before, one person had told me that there was a conversation about extending this contract, but the majority of people have said to me, no, he's going after Christmas 26.
Now, we know he did 2 movies.
Yes.
Right? One is public, right?
Yeah.
Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Yes.
The play is going to be in the theaters, you said.
It's going in cinemas. Yeah, it's going in cinemas now shortly.
And there's also the secret movie that you told me about that I'm not allowed to say because would ruin the movie itself.
Yeah, well, all I can say on that front is that the promotion has now started for that movie, but I'm still not saying what it is until he's
right. And I know that it's out in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. So
yeah.
But once I'm going to tell you right now, once those movies hit, his phone is going to ring with rolls.
Because by the time they come out,
he will be done with season 3, probably.
Yeah, that's what I assume is that he would be done with season 3. He's taking Doctor Who out of the equation.
I mean, 10 months shoot, right? Right. Yeah. Let's just say, right.
Yeah.
So we know that I'm gonna take the liberty here and say that secret movie is gonna be out in October, right?
Probably October, November.
Yeah. Right. So if he starts filming in February, right? That's technically to what? October, November? What is that?
That's till December. 10 months.
No, 10 months. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, even a phone conversation of getting more roles because of those movie roles, he'll be done already.
Yeah.
He'll be made his commitment to Doctor Who, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I want to go off topic for a second, okay? Because we've talked about this as well on here, and in case anybody didn't know my opinion of this, I've said this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Okay, I did not like Chris Chibnall. I did not like what I feel that he ruined Doctor Who. And even though there were some things that were cool that he's done, overall I didn't like it. And I never recognized Joe Martin as the first Doctor, period. And even in an interview, Chris Chibnall said that he don't know where she places. So now when she came out and she said that she was told that she's the first Doctor, is that because of Big Finish telling her that? Or
I have listened to the audio. I've listened to her Big Finish audios.
Okay.
And I can tell you now that it doesn't. It explains how the TARDIS looks like a police box. But it doesn't say where she is in the timeline. That is not referenced.
Okay.
My headcanon has always been that she's 6B, but I know that's never going to get canonized.
Well, that's that after War Games. That's it.
Yeah.
That's done. That's done completely.
Yeah.
You're not getting that.
Yeah, that's not happening. But in my fantasy world, I like to think it still exists somewhere.
Well, there's also the mystery of when the second Doctor appeared to the 6th. Was it the second, or was it the 16th or 20th?
Yeah, if what I'm hearing is true, Joe Martin's in season 2.
Yeah, but we've talked about this.
Yeah.
On the Real Whovians cast, and this is if you're an avid listener of the Real Whovians cast, you would know that we referenced that Joe Martin's going to appear in season 2. So that's no surprise there either.
Yeah, do you know what? Like Joe Martin's Doctor is.
I like her.
I've listened to. I really like. There's three parts to the audio,
Okay.
and I've listened to the first two, and I really like her. I really like her in
I mean,
audio.
I liked what we've seen of her with Chibnall, but again, I can like her, but I don't recognize her as the. She could be a doctor, but
Yeah,
she's not the first. That's a and even Russell in an interview with Shooty Gatwell and Millie Gibson,
yeah,
Russell had confirmed and admitted that the first doctor is William Hart. That's
yeah,
it, and there's
yeah.
nobody else. So,
Well,
like, regardless of whatever you see, we
yeah.
know who the first doctor is. That's it.
Well, I think if the fact that Big Finish haven't actually addressed that sort of adds sort of fuel that Russell could be picking up certain elements of the whole timeless child thing and putting his own
Well,
sort of
he
spin on it.
already has, right? Because didn't he say that the toy maker was responsible for putting something jigsaw of his history?
Yeah, he says I made a jigsaw of your history. It was sort of like a throwaway line to the
So,
14th
so
Doctor.
does that mean that because I don't know how this works with the gods and time, right? Because
Yeah.
time they're above time, but time is not above them, I guess. So did
The
he was anything altered in the Doctor's history, or did he pluck him from time and created a new Doctor? Like
I,
I'm
I I
wondering.
think I think that there that you've just asked, I think that is going to be. I think that will get explained. Personally, I think they're going to explain that. I don't know the answer to that, but I think Russell put it like this, right? If Joe Martin is in season two, right, and I've heard she is, they're not going to bring her back just to have her in an episode and then disappear again. They clearly want to do something with her.
I mean, in all essence, she could be the 16th Doctor because we
She
did
could be,
hear, right, that Russell wants to do a female Doctor.
yeah, she could
So
be. I
why
mean,
not use her?
I just don't think that they're bringing her in for a worthless cameo. Bring her in
No,
and
it's. I'm pretty sure it's an episode full.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I've heard, she turns up like halfway through an episode, and it's the plot of that is she's there and Shooty's there, and I don't know if from what I hear she's not in the finale, but that maybe that whole thing ties into season three. I just you know
Well, we
she
heard the rumor, right? We've been discussing this rumor that Ruby dies, right?
yeah,
And he goes ape shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Which means that he's not going to help Unit with the Sea Devils.
yeah,
It's sort of like go fuck yourself,
yeah.
basically. And again, after the spinoff, it picks up in the Christmas special because now he's going to be reintroduced. All right, I'm coming back to Earth. We make up with Unit, all this bullshit. And he's got to get grounded and get the feeling of Christmas for him to be back to normal,
I
right?
think that's I think that's what's going to happen because I think they're going to go the whole route if that's true of what happens in the finale. I think they'll go like a similar road to what happened in like the Snowman with Matt Smith, where he was all grumpy and sort of like
Well, let me ask you a question. Could it be that Joe Martin's doctor is accidentally responsible for Ruby Sunday dying and then he fucking loses his shit? Like
I
where he doesn't recognize her as a doctor or as an enemy, maybe basically, or
I,
something, maybe.
I don't I
Speculation, I'm saying.
speculation. I don't know. I just think I think it's going to be something to do with the Conrad guy, the Ruby's boyfriend. I think that he's going to be the main guy to watch out for.
Now is it confirmed that he's Ms. Flood's grandson? Or we don't know.
I haven't. I don't think so. I haven't heard that from anybody that
Okay.
I haven't heard that from anybody
Now
other than
that interview today, he was saying that the animated Cuphead type villain or whatever is a voice of someone we're familiar with.
indeed. Yes.
Yeah, is that it, are they doing like Tom Baker's voice or something, or is
I
it like
know.
somebody?
I'll tell you who I've heard. But we'll wait to see whether it's true or not. I've heard it's Mark Gatiss.
This is speculation, by the way. Rumor.
Yeah. Yes, I've heard it's
Rumor.
Mark Gatiss.
It's who?
Mark Gatiss. Oh, you cut
Okay.
right? Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
it's Mark.
I explain.
So yeah, so I've heard that the voice of the Cuphead like creature thing is supposed to be Mark Gatiss.
Oh, you kept zapping out. Mark Gatiss. So
Yeah,
he's the voice of. Okay,
yeah, Mark Gatiss.
okay, that's
So
interesting. So he's back in Doctor Who somehow.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't
Because
surprise
he
me.
said they're not calling him, right? Unless he's joking about it, right?
I think he's joking about it.
Yeah, he's part of that shit.
Mark's right. I can tell you now
If
from what I
Moffat's there, he's there.
yeah, oh yeah,
Come
yeah. Well,
on, come
I,
on.
I can tell you now, without going into the details, Mark Gatiss is writing a series. He's doing his own
There you go.
series. He's doing his own original work. So I don't know what it is, but I know he's busy doing that.
Well, if Sue Virtue was correct that Moffat's going to be doing more Sherlock, then Mark Gatiss is going to be right there. Obviously.
I wouldn't be surprised if the scripts for that are done
Yeah,
because these
I
things
wouldn't
are
be
not.
surprised either.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're sitting done and it's just a matter
And
of
again, from what I understand, I believe Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman are available because I guess for some reason um, he's not doing Avengers Doomsday, but he's doing Secret Wars, so that's a ways off. And Doctor Strange 3, I don't think will interfere with Sherlock, so I think that they can do a series and maybe a Christmas special too, because I know he did that once also.
yeah,
With Sherlock.
because they have talked about the fact that Cumberbatch has talked before about how he wants to keep playing that character until he's old. So
Oh,
that
that's good.
he said he's always liked the thought of playing Sherlock into him being an old man.
That's good.
So that would be interesting. But yeah, I think that would be interesting if he managed to do that. But I imagine, yeah, if he's not doing Avengers Doomsday, I imagine it's just a case of whether Martin Freeman's free.
Well, Martin Freeman also is in the MCU.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know if he's really going to be used as heavily as probably
yeah.
not. But
Oh,
also, I have a question too. Not really related, I guess, but um, is like what is the definition of Dracula now with Moffat and Gatiss? Like, was that not well received, or is
yeah,
that
that's
done?
dead.
Or
That's
oh, it's
dead.
done.
Yeah,
It's
it's done.
dead.
Yeah.
Okay. No chance. All right.
No,
All right.
no
And
chance.
and and okay. Thank you for
It,
clearing that up. So
it didn't it didn't perform well. It didn't do crazy ratings, but it I just think the ratings were good. It just wasn't well received. I think they they may retool it and come back with it, but from everything I've heard, I think it's a dead duck. I don't think they're going any further with it.
okay.
It's yeah, but as I say with these things, like any it's like a lot of these things are scheduled very much in advance. They may know when Sherlock's filming. They
Right.
may know when Doctor Who's filming. All these things, as we said before, they all have to be booked in advance. They all have to be scheduled.
Yeah. Well, we said
So
that too. Like, I mean, season 3, they need to know when they're going to film because they gotta book the hotel stays and pay the actors and hire everybody. So, like, again,
yeah,
going back to Doctor Who season 3, I don't think these people understand really thinking about it that when more than likely, I guess Russell will be the mouthpiece for Disney Plus, right? And he'll come here on the camera and say, "Oh, we got season 3 of Doctor Who's gonna happen," right? And it's because Disney Plus said it's okay. It doesn't mean that they just found out about it.
yeah,
They
yeah,
know way ahead of the public that it's going to happen because they have to pay for everything
yeah.
and set
I
everything
mean,
up. So
I
they'll
mean,
be
I don't know whether should we say that season two did? Because do you know what? I think I will.
just go for it.
Um, I we we heard two dates before. I'll build up to it. We heard two dates.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
a
we're gonna release our info that we felt we weren't allowed to about the release date of season
yeah.
2.
Uh,
Again, wait. There is some very wait before we say the dates. I just want to be clear here. All right, that this information on the dates is subject to change because there's reasons behind it, and when we give you these two dates, you can't hold it to us to our name and integrity because we're telling you that this can change. This is
yeah,
changeable. All right.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
just going to give you the knowledge that we have, but you can't hold it on our heads because dates change. And people have done that to me in the past. Dates change. It's a factor of Disney Plus has programming that could conflict with the Doctor Who thing because they want to promote their shows and they don't promote Doctor Who as much as they do say when Joy to the World got very limited promotion because of the Skeleton Crew. So they didn't promote hardly at all Disney Plus. But anyway, we're gonna give these dates.
yeah.
Um,
So
you're
this
wrong,
this
Greg Gavarian, whatever. But okay.
these dates are um when it comes to dates, they have to be, it has to be signed off by the BBC schedulers and the Disney schedulers.
Okay.
Uh, so the two dates, drum roll, please. The
Yeah.
two dates that we have heard, again, subject to change, but these are the two dates that I keep hearing.
For Doctor Who season 2 on Disney Plus.
Season
Yeah.
2 on Disney Plus, right? So, first date, Saturday, the 29th of March, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah. The second date, Saturday, the 12th of April, 2025.
Okay.
So, those are the two dates that I've heard. So, it's either going to be the 29th of March or the 12th of April.
Okay.
So, that's all to do with, what's on schedule wise in the UK in terms of what's on. But um, I, if I had to put money on either of them, I would say 29th of March. But we don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I think
See,
29th of March.
see. The thing is, I would say would be April 12th,
Yeah.
but that's my opinion because again, Daredevil's in March, and it's sort of like I feel the best time to do it would be away from Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil's still going to be on Disney Plus, but
Yeah.
it already would have had a
Oh,
couple episodes in the can.
speaking, speaking of, because I know that you're concerned about like the promo and it not getting enough promo time.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read you something else that's in Doctor Who magazine that's not in that article?
Yes.
So Russell speaks about,
And right
uh,
now, season 2 of Doctor Who is on Disney Plus.
yeah,
Greg Garian, I, all due respect, but the
uh,
deal is not done with Disney, so there's no articles about that, and that's speculation on your part. But go ahead.
so Russell says this in Doctor Who magazine. He says, "The studio will flare into life briefly, I hope in February for a few days. I am writing this in early January, so plans aren't confirmed yet, but we're probably going to shoot material for publicity and those 1,000 electric press kits you have to do, and maybe trailers." And then he goes on to say, "I remember those specifically shot trailers we do in the old days. The Ninth Doctor saying, 'Do you want to come with me?' Donna
I like
Noble and
those.
Donna Noble at the fire pit. The 10th Doctor and Martha split screening with each other.
I love that.
11 and Amy Pond lying on the grass in the glorious cinematic 3D. Whatever
Great.
happened to those things? I really liked them. Maybe
Me
it's time.
too.
Maybe it's time to do that again, but we'll see. It's too soon to say."
I
So
definitely vote yes for that.
yeah. So
Absolutely. Also, I want to interject. Oh, continue, and then we'll answer the question in the chat.
yeah. Well, I think we will get a trailer, something along those lines, with probably with Belinda.
But didn't we say that they're filming in January? Didn't we
They,
say that? Like that they're going to be filming Doctor Who stuff in January? We said that.
yeah, I heard that. I did hear that a way back. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, I did hear that.
I mean, we heard that, and we heard that Shooty is available in February, and that they
Yep.
were going to film light filming in January, whatever that meant,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Light filming, light could be anything. So I was correct
yeah.
saying that way in advance, and people don't want to give me credit for it. But anyway, all right. Also, did you want to add more to that? Go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say that that light filming could have been moved into February. We don't know, but clearly, as I say, there's something happening. There's something happening at the minute.
Right, they're there right now in
Yeah,
Beowulf. So,
yeah,
but and again, I want to also say too, I don't care that Russell had put that picture up already. Russell T Davies is talking in code, and if you didn't know he's talking in code, this has been an intellectual thing that's been done, especially when he was talking back and forth to Moffat on Twitter, and nobody knew that Moffat was part of Doctor Who season 1 on Disney Plus and season 2 and all that. So they were talking about the Weeping Angels, and Moffat was like, "Oh, how, I would love to see what Sally Sparrow's doing with Weeping Angels." And Russell T Davies is like, "Write it," and people didn't know that when he said "write it," he meant write it because he's a writer on Doctor Who Disney Plus season 1 and 2. So, like joking around, he's like, "Well, write it, and I'll make it." Right? So they talk in code, and Russell sharing a picture, even though he put it up already, means spelling it out for you. He's home, right? He's
yep.
back in town. He's in the studio and he's filming, and he doesn't have to show you a new picture.
The thing is, right? The thing is, there's people. I have an answer for this before I say it. There is people saying, "Oh, well, the only reason he's in the studio is because they're editing the War Between the Land and the Sea, and they're editing season 2." Ross, that is all done remotely by studios in London and in Dublin, right?
Yeah,
He doesn't need to be in Batwolf. He could zoom in from his flat in Cardiff or his house in the Mumbles. He doesn't need
right.
to be in the studios, so he's not. He has no reason to be in the studios unless there's something happening. Simple as that.
Right,
I know he has an office in the studios. Fair enough. He
right.
might go to the office, but you know. But anyway,
All right.
we're going to say about the question.
Yeah. Okay. So I may appear to be a dick here. Okay. And I have a right to be because I've been doing this since 2011, and I think I know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go into the chat a little heavy. We have a character there, Greg. How do you pronounce that, Marty? Greg.
I haven't a clue. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Greg Vegan, right? Okay.
Greg Vigan.
Could I just say Greg? All right. Greg, listen. All due respect, okay? I know what the deal is, and you don't know what the deal is, okay? And the deal is that we're in the same effing year, okay? Doctor Who season 2 and the spinoff, okay? So if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, right, Marty, that Disney Plus was waiting for all the stuff to air before they make an announcement, right? It would be after the Christmas special, right? And I'm going to tell you why you believe there is no Christmas special. You don't believe there's a Christmas special because there is a podcast that came out on their 200th anniversary episode called Type 40 that said there is no Christmas special. So you're going off of that guy, Dan, throwing his reputation on the line, making a statement, a bold statement, and you're taking that as gospel. And the reason why I mentioned Dan from Type 40 is because there could be no room for error, and I'm not bashing him, but people have said to me that he has insiders. I don't have insiders. Well, how the hell would you know who I have? Okay. So, well, you're reading a magazine Marty's in the industry, and I have sources in the BBC. So take your magazine and read it. That's fine. But we have people on set in the BBC, and Marty's in the industry. So you're talking about a magazine that you could buy that everybody reads. So you're like everybody else getting the same information, and then you're coming on my podcast and you're telling me how it's done. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That you got some nerve, okay? If you think I spend 14,000 videos to do, I don't know what I'm talking about, you're completely wrong. And you have said this. You haven't appeared on my channel lately, but you have said this every single day. You were annoying, and you were going on my channel every single day. And I don't have the right to be calm with you because you were a little bit ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to tell you right now, I will have you on here out of respect because I'm a good host. But I'm just telling you, you're completely wrong because you went overboard. I understand you don't want Doctor Who and everything, but every single day you were like on my comment section, season 3 is not confirmed. Season 3 is not confirmed. Season 3 is not confirmed. Okay. I got it the first 150 times you said it.
I suppose the thing is,
just going to tell you.
Just going to tell you. Publicly, it hasn't been confirmed. But you know, as I say, as we've said before, these things were scheduled way in advance. So, you know, as you have said and other people have said before, we are the last. The public are the last to know about these things. You know, the public are the last to hear about when stuff is happening. So
let's talk, Marty. Let's talk about the speculation, right? Let's talk about the rumor speculation that Ruby Sunday dies in the finale. Okay. Yeah. This is the rumor that we've said on the Real Whovians cast, right? That Ruby Sunday dies. The Doctor flips the fuck out, gets mad at Unit, gets mad at the Earth, gets mad at whatever, and takes the fuck off, right? This will basically explain that Unit is on their own, battling the Sea Devils, or so we think. I want to throw that out there. And the Doctor is not answering. Let me correct this. The 15th Doctor is not answering his phone.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just put that out there, okay? Yeah. I'm going to say that one more time. The 15th Doctor is not answering his phone. So, whatever happens in the spinoff at the end will connect to the Christmas special directly because you'll get that wonderful Christmas season of, you know, and him feeling like he did in the Snowman. And then at the end of the Christmas special, he will be 100% vested into saving the Earth and the Unit and everything else. And he'll be back to normal from, like, say, Matt Smith wanted to retire when he was upset about the ponds.
Yeah.
Shooty Gatwa's Doctor will be 100% okay at the end of the Christmas special. And again, we cannot tell you what the Christmas special is about because it would spoil the finale and it would spoil the spinoff.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard about the theme of it. I've told you that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to say the least.
Well, I mean, can we go there and mention what we've said before about who's in?
I don't want to go there with that.
But
yeah.
No more.
No. No. Oh no.
Okay. We're not allowed to now.
I want to do you know what?
For them to watch previous episodes of the Whovians cast to see what we said.
You can find that. Yes. Yes.
All right. So there is stuff in the Real Whovians cast we talked about the spinoff that Marty says from the boss, Russell T. Davis. We're not allowed to say. And I listen. He's the boss. He's my boss too. That's it. Even though I don't work on the payroll. Even though I don't listen. All due respect, I see him as my boss. Even though I'm not on the payroll, I'm not in the industry. But when he tells something to Marty that gets to me, we gotta respect it. So I apologize, Russell. I will not talk about what we've previously talked about on the Real Whovians cast about the spinoff and who's in it. We are not allowed to talk about that. Sorry.
All I will say is, if you want to know what I've heard the 2025 special is about, I will say the following quote.
Special what? The Christmas you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to leak it?
No, I'm not going to leak it. No, I'm just going to say a quote from what
You're going
it's
to give her a
based on.
teaser?
Yeah, I'm going to give a teaser. Yeah.
This is a 2025 Christmas special teaser. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is the quote. It is from the original source on what the special is based on. Why, and I'll read it in my best reader's voice. Why sometimes I've believed as many as 6 things impossible, or 6 impossible things before breakfast. So if you look that
What?
up, that's. Do you want me to type it to you? I'll type it to you. I've told you this. I've told you what
No,
I've
no,
heard.
I know. Like, so, like, he's talking about Russell's talk. Well, that's not Russell. Okay, whoever teased this, right?
That's me. That's me teasing it.
Oh, you teasing it? Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk off air about that.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll write it to you, and you can say it in your big dramatic Sky Havoc voice.
I thought Sky Havoc was a Matrix Lord 2 and 2 from another universe. That's what it was labeled as.
Or you could do Digna Facto if he's around.
He's from another universe. Okay. All right.
So I'll type it to you, and you can read this out. I'm just making sure that's right. That's it.
That's your spoiler for the Marty's spoiler for the 2025 Christmas special. A dramatic episode of epic proportions not seen by the human eye. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So
wow. That's
you
got
can
me excited.
You can read that. Have you found, you can read that out what I've said to you. You can read that out.
All right.
In your big dramatic voice.
Oh, you sent it to me now?
Yeah, I sent it to you on private chat and StreamYard.
You want me to read it here? No.
Yeah, read it. Read it.
Oh, you put it on private chat. Oh.
Yeah.
Let me go in private chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just said it. I don't need to repeat in that voice.
Oh,
you want me to repeat?
If you make it dramatic, you make it sound good.
Why sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast.
Now, if you go and look that up and what that's from, you will find out what the special is based on. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Marty spoiled it.
That's all
Somewhat.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Wow.
But anyway, what else can I? What else are we allowed to say?
I mean, we're not. I mean, that's
we're
all.
Not really allowed to. Okay.
So that's all.
All due respect, but I listen. I want more information from my BBC source and little tidbits from Russell T Davis to Marty. So we are going to.
Well, listen. I don't have
a
direct line to Russell T Davis. If I run into him,
I didn't mean to create that illusion. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to create that illusion, but when I'm told that, if you get the job, you're not going to be able to do the Real Whovians cast, I'm like, okay.
Well,
wow.
He didn't specifically say to you, but he said any podcast. He says it's over. Any podcast, it's
right.
over.
Any podcast, right? Okay. All right.
So, yeah. So, but
we're not going to answer that question. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, is it? Hang on a second.
No, we're not going to answer that question.
We're not going to answer it. No, but I'm just going to.
We're not. No.
I'm just going to check what that person wrote.
No. Okay.
Oh. Right.
No, we're not answering. We're not answering that question.
I'm not commenting. No.
We're not.
No.
We are not. That's it.
We are not amused.
Dare ask that question. I don't know what you're talking about. I only recognize one that's in that blue box. I'm sorry. I don't know who that other guy is. I don't know. Although Marty.
Yeah.
I've been watching the finale over and over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
So much so that I have drawn some conclusions.
Go on.
It turns out this is a Matrix Lord 2 and 2 opinion. and
Speculation.
speculation
Yeah.
that we all know that Miss Rose Noble was going on her tablet. She wasn't playing Candy Crush, by the way. Sending some messages, and it turns out that there was another blue box that was traveling around when the universe was devastated. And the evidence of this is basically when he lands on that planet and he meets that woman with the baby that died. She talked and spoke of a man that came to her earlier. Now, is it possible that that man with a companion dropped off a spoon? Maybe,
Could be.
possibly,
Yeah.
but they were not reachable by unit, and they were in a blue box, and they were traveling away from Sutek. So yeah,
It's
there was no other man in the universe that woman visited.
You see
That could be anybody else.
I just see the comment is it blinked twice as 14's in the special. Look, Tennant.
We're not talking about that. We're not
talking about that, but the answer is no. That's all I'm gonna say. He's not in the special. What I see another thing here that said, where was it? There's but Doctor Who and its format. Look, I agree with the
what's up, I'm sorry. What's up, Arachnoid Champion? How are you? I think we spoke before.
Yeah. It's
sorry.
No, I just noticed a lot of new names on the chat. I don't know half these
people. No, he had a conversation with me related to gaming Doctor Who before, so I recognize it. He wanted to let me know that he's the Arachnoid Champion that I said I would not go against because he's got that privileged honor there. So I respect the gamer to gamer stuff. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's as I say, you hear bits and pieces, so it's it's nice to hear, but hear whatnot. But as I say, it's great that
Oh, Fezman says hi, by the way.
Oh, hi. Oh, let me see the comment. I haven't seen this. Marty, I'm a fellow Irishman. Where are you from? Tell me that. So look, it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. I mean, I have no. Does the show need? I honestly believe a lot of people say like Russell's the problem with the show. I don't think Russell's the problem with the show. I think the format. County Down, not too bad. I think the problem with the show is I actually do think the format of the show. Now, this is just an opinion. This is not me saying I know.
No.
But I think the format of the show does need to change.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love. I'd like them to go back to like more episodes, but shorter runtimes.
I mean, I had said I want 13 plus a Christmas special like we had before.
Yeah. I just think you can do if you done shorter episodes, right? I think you could do more, but I don't. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I think I
kind of like. I think the factor is not even that. I think the factor is Disney Plus doesn't want to commit to more than 10.
Yeah.
Because they're allowing it, I guess. Daredevil, I think, has an abundance, but they only want a certain amount, and they don't want. Like, in other words, Doctor Who is a thing where they could air 2 episodes to start.
Yeah.
And they could be done in less than 2 months, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because they air 2 episodes the first night, so they'll be done before 2 months, right? Every week airing, right? So they don't want things to drag out into like a 3-month thing. Because they don't want, even though they are on the air at the same time as their Disney Plus shows, they really don't want to hurt their Disney Plus shows. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but back in the day, there was a whole big thing about how Disney Plus hurt Pixar, where they're like when they re-signed their deal or something, that their release kind of took away from Pixar release, which hurt the profitability. And ever since then, they made it very important to discuss it, that they do not want to hurt themselves or anything that, like, so in other words, they don't want to hurt Star Wars. They don't want to hurt MCU.
Yeah.
They want to do Doctor Who, but they don't want to hurt each other. So if Doctor Who is released in a window that really wouldn't affect it, that's fine. But they don't want Doctor to carry on 3 months straight with new episodes, I think.
Yeah.
For now anyway.
Yeah.
That may change when they realize the profitability's in the toilet with certain things, like especially Captain America. We'll see how that goes, but they may change their attitude. But for now, you know. Oh, Beep the Meep. Well, didn't Russell say that Beep the Meep was going to appear again? I mean, he did say he made Beep the Meep say that.
I don't think he did say that. The boss was mentioned. The boss.
Well, it was implied by the villain that the villain would return, I guess.
I don't know who the boss is. I haven't been told anything about who the boss is.
Yeah, I don't know who the boss is either.
But if I had to put money on it, if I had to put a guess on it, I would. I would say the master. I think the put it like this: that gold tooth wasn't picked up for nothing.
Yeah, and also just want to make everybody aware the master is the one that told the doctor that she was the timeless child. And the master was the one that supposedly destroyed Gallifrey. And the master was the one that was in contact with the Matrix of Gallifrey and Tech Dayun. And the toy maker said he made a jigsaw puzzle of his history. So it's major possibility that the master was involved with the toy maker, with the whole multiverse thing. And it's a plot point.
I just see a comment from Facebook. What about the Michael Collins episode? You have no idea. So Michael Collins, if you don't know, is he's very well known figure within Irish history. Was part of the reason why Ireland has sort of become an independent country. But anyway, I would love an episode set back then. I would do anything for an episode set back then, or even in the 70s. And the fact they haven't came to Ireland. I mean, come on, Joe. They came to New York before they came to Ireland.
I know. That's kind of fucked up, honestly.
Yeah,
that is fucked up. That is. I agree.
Yeah, I'd love an episode or two set in Ireland. I mean, the biggest shock I ever had in my life for Doctor Who was the next time trailer for the finale for the ascension of the Cybermen before the Timeless Children. And in that next time trailer, it shows so you remember that whole Brendan thing and all that was set in Ireland? It was like
I remember them doing stuff like this takes place in this time, and this takes place in this area. Right.
Supposed to look like this is the division, but it's all covered up with a filter. So that was all based in Ireland in the 1920s. And I thought, when I saw that on the next time trailer, I thought, holy shit, they're actually doing a story that's set in Ireland. And I lost my shit. And then it turns out it was all fake. It was all for nothing. So I actually have asked him when he coming to film in Ireland, and he laughed at me. He laughed at me. So
well, I gotta tell you honestly, if they did another Doctor Who episode in New York.
Yeah.
But I'm talking majority filmed in New York with a Disney budget. That would be so damn epic. Especially if it was the Weeping Angels or even Davros and the Daleks in New York. The big buildings, the Times Square, the Central Park, Grand Central Station. That would be one of the biggest things, most expensive things, probably since Planet what was Planet of Death, right? That was an anniversary episode or something that he remember that David Tennant special? What was that called? That was
Planet of the Dead in Dubai.
Planet of the Dead. Yeah, he spent a lot of money on that. A lot. More than any other episode. And it was a special to him, it was a special anniversary of sorts that only he would know, or we would know if we paid attention to it. So I honestly think that would be the most epic thing they could do in New York. Because again, we did see them filming, but we only saw bits in that thing.
You said there was a lot of stuff that was cut out of that, like a nightclub stuff and stuff.
Yeah, so there was. I I was there dressed up, and Moffat let me, because the security came to me. Moffat was waved to them. It was okay for me to go film the cars because you couldn't. You had your line, like you're behind the line over here, and then across the street is where they're filming, but you're not supposed to cross the line.
Yeah.
So he let me do it. Like he gave just a hand gesture, like whatever, it's okay. And I filmed like the cars that they drove in, like Matt Smith drove in with River and stuff like that. But it was said that Moffat was not um he didn't like to end things. Like he had a problem with the ending of the Ponds and the episode, and on the fly he would write stuff for them to do, right? So there was a scene that was filmed where the 11th Doctor and Amy Pond went into this nightclub thing. Now I could see inside of it, and Matt Smith's doctor is talking to Amy, and they got the guy with the like a jazz, like band with the thing, and
Yeah, and
the
all
group
that.
was like there, and he's like basically talking to her about whatever while they're watching them, do that. And I remember at the time my phone died, so I made a friend there, and I used her iPad to film that whole thing, right? Now, it turns out that at the time she was going to school and she was a fashion designer. And she had worked on hit movies like Sucker Punch and stuff like that. So um, we met there, and I met other people there that I still talk to. And then we parted with, like, when I went home, we kept in contact a little bit, but she wound up moving to LA, and she wound up working on the female Ghostbusters movie and a whole bunch of movies. So I
Wow.
kind of lost touch, but I wanted to try to get the footage that I filmed on her iPad,
Yeah.
and that's the only place that it is because my thing died. Uh, but I did film
Yeah.
that thing. So I got to try to reach out to her one day to get that footage.
Greg, I just see your comment. Gallifrey is in Ireland, and if I ever because I work in TV in years to come, if I ever come to be working on Doctor Who, I will have some sort of I will do my own version of the Timeless Child, and I will have it that Gallifrey's origins started in Ireland. No,
I'm going to say too, the goal of me, just like I talk about Dan Slott, who was the writer of Amazing Spider-Man. He wrote more Spider-Man stuff. Spider-Man, I got a Spider-Man shirt on. He wrote more Spider-Man stuff than anybody in history. He's friends with Russell T Davies and Moffat, and they let him on the TARDIS set many times.
Yeah.
And I said, because I always went to book signings with him and stuff. One day, I don't know how, but one day I'm gonna get in that TARDIS set. Just like pull that lever on a picture. One day it's gonna happen. I keep saying to myself, somehow I'm gonna be in that, and I'm gonna just have it. I think Dan Slott had a coffee in his hand or a phone in his hand, and he's pulling the lever, and he's in the TARDIS. One day, that would be on the bucket list.
I know someone who went to the set, who has been at the set in Cardiff, the set they have at the minute, and they said that they went on the set and went over and pulled the lever, and as they pulled the lever, they've got massive speakers in the studio, so they watched this person. I don't want to say who they are, but they watched this person, and as soon as the person pulled the lever, they flicked the button and got the timer going and pumped the sound of the TARDIS taking off into the studio.
That is so cool.
So it sounded as if the TARDIS was actually taking off.
That's great. I would love that. Oh my god.
So
oh my god.
Yeah, they timed it so that when he pulled the lever, they flicked the time rotor on and pumped the noise through the speakers of the dematerialization sound.
Right.
Because obviously they don't have it in real life. They put it in post production. But yeah, he said it was a real surreal experience when it happened.
I'm
So,
just going to add something to this that's not related to Doctor Who, but probably people would be curious. Besides Doctor Who, of course, Spider-Man is my favorite comic character of all time. Like Doctor Who is my favorite sci-fi show, and Spider-Man is my favorite thing. Period. But I was in a group chat with my sons Joseph and Anthony because I had watched yesterday the first episode of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I absolutely adored and loved the first episode.
yeah.
But the big thing about the chat was that I wasn't happy with the second episode. So it was like night and day where I was having this big discussion with my kids to the wee hours of the morning. And then I realized, you know what? They got to go to work. And I'm talking to them till 1 in the morning and I need to stop. So I was like, good night. I love you. I miss you. And as I always say, and, um, I think my son Anthony wanted to talk to me soon about that. But uh, yeah, so I just wanted to give that little thing, that funny thing, because we were in discussion deep about Spider-Man yesterday. Anyway, so I do want to say on here, like I have a lot of fun on my YouTube channel. You know, I tend to like to be funny and comedy oriented, and I like to sing or I like to make jokes or I like to do stupid things like drink from a mug that had my own face on it. Now, to give context to that video that I don't have an ego, which blew up and I got tons of revenue from that because people love that video. I did not make my own mug with my own face on it. So the story behind that is that my mother-in-law had made a mug of me and Sharon together on the mug as a gift. And when I do it on the camera, I show me drinking out of my own head. But Sharon's on that mug too. So I got the mug as a gift from my mother-in-law. But I like to do comedy videos, and yes, when somebody fights with me, I like to fight back. I'm a character. I'm funny. Uh, and of course, we do the podcast, and it's all serious because I'm the host, and it means a lot to me. But I just want to make everybody aware that um, if there's any battles or grudges with me, it stays with me, with who I'm talking about, like Noel. Okay, it doesn't extend to my group, so there's no right where anybody should be going after my members, right, or anybody going after his members, right. So I really don't want that. I mean, I'm not happy that Noel did the diss track about my group. I'm kind of pissed off, but and I know that some of my members have wanted to talk about it. That I've put a hold on that because they got annoyed,
Yeah.
and I don't want this to turn into a fucking like panel versus panel. So,
Yeah.
Marty's
All
a guest. Marty's
yeah,
a member of my show. He's a guest on here, but I don't want people bothering him.
yeah.
Just come after me, please.
I have to like hold my hands up and just say, like, I know I'm just gonna say this very briefly. I don't, you know me, I just come on here and I say what I,
Yeah,
and I don't get involved in arguments. I've had enough arguments,
correct,
and
correct.
I
And
don't have
that's why
time.
I want to emphasize like
Yeah,
the battles between me and one person, and
yeah.
that's it.
I,
It's
I,
not
I,
extended, even though he wants to extend it, and he has tried to piss off members of my group by putting them in this track. I don't want that. So this is a professional thing on the Real Whovians cast. We're talking about important business, and that's the way it's going to remain.
I
So
didn't,
if they're going to talk about this podcast, you could talk about me, but that's it. You're off
I
limits.
I don't even, I haven't even heard. This is how out of the loop I am. I don't even know about diss tracks. I don't know.
Yeah,
So I
he
just, yeah,
so the thing I just touched briefly.
yeah,
Sharon got concerned because you get concerned. Like, look, this is a thing that I do. She doesn't do it. I mean, once in a while she'll come on in a video for fun, right, and reviewing a donut or reviewing a snack, right, and then once in a while me and her will do videos together, right. But at the end of the day, this is my thing, right. Like she's not doing a YouTube career. She doesn't want to do that, right? So, like when it got personal, she got concerned. Like when someone leaked my address because they wanted me to stop talking about Doctor Who, it doesn't affect just me. It affects her because we're together, you know. So, and I try to emphasize that I don't want anybody hurt, like because of this. And the address thing was not cool. Okay, and then the 7 diss tracks that he made in a day raised a red flag for her, thinking that there's some type of mental stability and he's going to come and kill me because he has talked about killing me in a live stream. And again, that you may agree or disagree that that's a red flag because nobody makes 7 diss tracks in a day on somebody, but he has. So I am going to say I have fun and everything. I don't really see that as a thing. And he has said recently that he's not going to do that. He's not going to waste money to do that, and I'm not going to waste money either to go see him. So I have no intention of going. No offense to Ireland, I have no intention of. I have no plans right now to go to Ireland. I mean, now I'll get a phone call with someone wanting to do a book signing, and they'll send me flight to Ireland. But I have no intention right now. I'm not going to burn my bridge.
Yeah.
Nothing against Ireland, but I just
I
it's not
think
in the cards this year.
I think one thing that we can all agree on is that it's a beautiful country, and I can say
It is.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just saying that if I may go there, but business related, but not in my plans, and I'm definitely not going there to see him. So, and no, I'm not. Okay, so hey, Polluted Turtle, me and Polluted Turtle have a greeting. Oh my god, because of Crash Bandicoot. But they will watch me play Crash Bandicoot, and I kept Ubaga, and I like kept dying and shit. And when you die, Ubaga brings you back to life. That's like the thing, the icon that kind of Crash. So Ubaga. Okay.
You sounded like you were saying Omega.
Ubaga. That's the Ubaga. Okay. So Noel does that. I'm not doing no AI songs, and I'm not doing no AI pictures. Let him have fun with that. Just keep my name out of it and my group out of it. That's all.
Well, yeah, as I say, like I don't. I come on. I say what I hear. I say both sides. I've heard this is happening. I've heard this may not be happening. This, that, and the other. You know the way I do. I like to keep a level-headed way of things. And
right.
Look, I'm looking forward to season 2. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming out. I mean, RTD says it's going to be a darker series. I think the show needs to be a lot more darker than being as light and fluffy as it was the last season.
Yeah.
So no. Roll
well,
on.
you and I agree. We don't want the seasons to be the same.
Oh yeah.
I am worried. Like I don't want season 2 to be an exact clone of season 1.
Yeah.
That's probably why. I mean, if I could really try to figure it out, like dissect myself, that's kind of probably why I'm looking more forward to 3 than 2, because it would be his last.
Yeah,
and if you're going to pull out all the stops, you're going to do it in his last season. The Alex Cybermen. I mean, that's basically it. I mean,
it's going to be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. I mean, roll on the 29th of March / 12th of April. We'll see what happens, but
we'll see if that sticks, though.
I think it's going to feel. I think it's going to feel different. From what I've heard, it does. I mean, can I say this? I think I can say it. Oh, I will say it because we'll know whether it's true or not. Again, label this is rumor. Not confirmed, but there's a different tone to this series. I think it takes itself a lot more serious, this series.
Right.
And to accompany that, I can say this: supposedly there's a new title sequence. But we'll see.
I do want to make a statement that I absolutely love Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday.
Yes,
I love Ruby Sunday. I kind of, we heard the rumors that she may die, and I'm not happy about that. And I also am under the opinion that if she does die, I would want her to come back and that be fixed, as we've seen other things in Doctor be fixed, like when the Master took over the world for a year, and that got reversed. And I know Sutek killing everybody, and then the Doctor reversing that. I kind of don't want Ruby Sunday to stay dead if she does die. I'm just putting it out there. I really love her, and I know that we believe things were parted ways, and she's doing something else. But I kind of would like to think that she would appear again, regardless when he regenerates. But again, that may not happen. We don't know. But I do like her as an actress, and I think I don't agree with anything that was said negatively against her. And she's a joy. I mean, not that she's joy of the world, but I like. I also like Nicola too. By the way,
Nicola.
Nicola. I'm sorry, Nicola.
Yeah.
But I like Millie Gibson better. But I
Yeah.
do. And we've heard that too, rumored that she's a companion also somehow, which I don't know. I mean, she's dead, right?
Yeah, she's dead. I mean, I heard she was supposed to be the companion, but clearly
She's
that's
dead.
what that's
She
what I.
did.
She
She
did.
did. She did.
She did. I can
She did.
I can hold up my hands and say that was wrong. So I don't know. In terms of season 3, I don't know who. Like, see, the thing is, I've heard what happens to Millie at the end of season 2. I haven't heard what happens to Belinda. So maybe Belinda's in season 3. Maybe she's not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know.
but you
Yeah.
will see. You will see Anita again. I know that. But
Oh, I have a question for you.
yeah,
We had touched base about this, but I don't know if it's changed. Um, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this now. We talked about this in the past.
right.
So if I say something, just say no.
I'll just say
Okay.
stop.
Just say stand down, because that's what I like. That's what I like to tell Nolan.
Yeah.
Stand down, Major Sword. We had talked about the memory TARDIS and okay, you didn't say it yet.
Carry on.
And that there is a new TARDIS Tales coming out with someone.
Carry on.
Are we allowed to talk about that, or are we? Okay, by your silence is a golden. So I'm gonna say no. But let me ask you another. I'll change the question.
Hold on. Do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to text that person right now. I'm going to text.
Listen, just have Russell come on here, all right, and just tell me flat out: is there more? Just come on here. Hi, Matrix Lord. There's more Tales in the TARDIS, and then goodbye, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'll just ring him. Give me 2 seconds. I'll call him up. Give me 2 seconds.
Mute yourself, because we don't want you to.
Yeah,
we don't want no spoiling stuff going
on. Let me see.
Or even Shooty. Poor Shooty. I gotta tell you, I want Shooty to come on here, because I am his biggest offender against all these mob of people, and I love the crap out of that guy, and I kind of want him to just come on here and me just tell him how much I love him and support him and whatever, and then he could say some words, but as long as it doesn't tell people to touch grass, then mute yourself, bro. Mute yourself, Marty. Mute yourself. Okay, God, we almost got somebody on the air. Crap, Jesus, God, that was close. That was close, man. We almost got to hear some big guy on that phone. Oh.
It's Russell the Davis.
No.
No, it's not Russell the Davis.
It's not.
Right, I'll tell you. Right, I'll tell you what it is, because again, this is not confirmed. This is rumor and speculation.
Rumor.
So, as you may be aware, it is 20 years this year from Doctor Who's return to television screens. Right? So, they're not. I know they've said they're not doing anything for it, but the rumor that I've been told is that is a teeny, tiny lie. What I've been told is that there is another Tales of the TARDIS episode. I don't know if it has been recorded or if it's about to be recorded, but supposedly what they're doing for the 20th anniversary is they're doing a Tales of the TARDIS episode with Jackie and Rose, and it's going to be for the 20th anniversary of Rose.
Shit.
Billy Piper and Camille Kaduri.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I'm not saying that's fact. I'm only saying what I've
Holy shit! We talked
only,
about this before, though. But yeah,
yeah, but I'm just public. I'm not claiming that as fact. I'm only
no,
saying what I've heard, right?
no.
I'm just saying what I've heard. But whether it's true or not, we'll see. But that's what I've been told. But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see if that works out. We'll see if that turns out to be true or not. But
All
yeah,
right.
I
I
wasn't
know.
on the phone. I wasn't on the phone to Russell. Don't worry. I don't have
No,
his
no,
number
no. But
yet.
I. Although you have some people's numbers,
I
and
have some
you
people's
have you were in the pub drinking with Paul McGann. That's all I'm going to say. But all right, then you sent me
yeah.
pictures, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. No,
Yeah.
and you have sent me stuff to Shooty, which you did yell at Shooty to yell back.
Yeah, I don't have his number. Yeah. Anyway,
No.
that's I will not you know who I have contacts with this
Oh,
point.
I know. So yeah, and so we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
And I am going to be going off to do other things, as you are, of course. I have other
Yes.
commitments. I have gaming, and then I have children, and well, they're in their 20s, so I'm going to be talking to them next. So I want everybody to have a great day. Hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed this episode of the Whovians cast,
Mhm.
and we respect your opinion, whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you want it canceled or you don't want it canceled. But let's try to keep it like calm. Let's try to not. Like, nobody wants nobody to die over an opinion, and nobody wants to destroy anybody's life like someone's trying to do to me. So just let's sort of I don't know. Let's sort of just have
I,
a peace treaty right
I am
now.
waving the white flag of peace. I don't want
Let's sort of try to have a peace treaty where we don't mention each other, and then just
Sure.
see how that goes. But that's not a sign of defeat or anything. It's just I blocked Noel because he was beeping my phone like ridiculous. I couldn't take it. But let's just have some type of peace treaty, okay? I think everybody on Twitter wants that. I think people on the comments section want that. They just it's fun once in a while, but it gets obsessive where people see all that and they want to see other stuff. So let's give peace a chance, and let's see what the other factor says about the peace treaty. I'm sure he'll make a video about it, and we'll see. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. Oh, and in the future, Marty,
Yes.
this is currently the 1994th Real Whovians cast.
We're getting towards the big one.
We're getting towards not 200, but 2000th episode. 2000th. So I am going to say that I'm going to try to represent as many members as possible.
Yeah.
I am thinking about it because I'm thinking about a guest or two. But I kind of don't. What?
Would you like me to put in a few phone calls?
No. You know what it is? This is sort of. I have been very lazy when it comes to that. I do talk to actors and actresses myself, and it's my fault, and my members really mad about me about that. I kind of I don't like to schedule things. I don't like all right, we're gonna do this with this person. I kind of am spontaneous. I'm kind of used to that for years, and I kind of just wanted to be with my group. So I really don't want to have guests, but in the future there may be guests. I'm not saying it's going to be for the 2000th episode. In the future, there may be guests. Let's just put it that way. And it has nothing to do with Marty. It'd be to do with me.
Yeah.
Although if Marty wanted to try at some point in time, that could be a discussion me and him have later on. But I sort of just want to keep it localized with the Whovians, and celebrate the 2000th episode. Now, I am not technological savvy. We do have our own theme music that was composed by Old Doc that I just don't know how to get it to. I'm not that smart technologically wise, where I don't know how to get a theme music attached to the podcast. But I do have it. Maybe I'll give it to Bad Wolf, or maybe I'll give it to Marty, and Marty will figure it out. But I do have an opening theme music, and I have a closing theme music. for the Real Whovians cast, and it's been in my computer for years. We'll see. Maybe we'll have that theme music on the 2000th episode. Hopefully. All right. We're out of here. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.